Pireps are one of the greatest resources we have for aviation weather. However, they are a sadly underutilized resource because we, as GA pilots, rarely file them. We produced this video from in-flight segments to encourage and inspire our fellow GA pilots to file those all-important Pireps on each and every flight.
Good morning, Altoona Radio, Grumman Tiger 28665 on 123.6, pilot weather report. Okay, what we can do. Okay, let's go back. Let's do it the hard way. 122.1. And let's go to 115.0. The nav 1. Good morning, Altoona Radio, Grumman Tiger 28665. Listening over the St. Thomas VOR, Pirep. Well, maybe we're not going to do anything.
Grumman 28665, this is Altoona Radio, go ahead.
Good afternoon. We are a Grumman Tiger Alpha Alpha 5 Bravo, about 10 northwest of the Altoona VOR, level 7,500 VFR. Like to report the sky's clear above. There's an overcast layer below. Top's probably around 6,500. Visibility is unrestricted. The air is smooth. The temperature is +2. And winds are out of 274 degrees true at about 42 knots.
Unless you have a crystal ball like I do. Everything we do for weather flight planning is based on a forecaster's best guess. In my experience, forecasts are wrong almost as often as they're right. Pireps are our only report of actual in-flight weather. I've made countless flights where moderate turbulence was in the forecast, but the ride was smooth as glass. Less so, I've also made flights where no turbulence was forecast, but I had a headache at the end of the flight from bouncing off the ceiling. But no one would know the difference unless we filed a Pirep. There have been instances in my life where the decision between go and no-go was entirely based on Pireps. If we can agree that Pireps are a valuable tool, let's look into the how-to of filing one. Pireps are generally filed with flight service, though ATC will take them on occasion. Even in the information age, a sectional chart is all you need to get the frequencies of the local flight service station. On our Pittsburgh flight, we made a call near the St. Thomas VOR. The VOR box gives us the name of the flight service station, in this case Altoona, and the frequencies. As we saw at the beginning, at low altitudes where line of sight communication isn't possible, you can call Altoona Radio via an RCO, remote communications outlet, on 122.1. The R stands for receive, that they receive on that frequency, and you can listen over the VOR on 115.0 using your VOR nav receiver. Many more comm options are available when I'm at differing locations as shown, and flight service common frequency is now 122.2. When calling flight service, the who you are, where you are, and what all still apply. Who you are must now include your make and model. Size does matter, as moderate turbulence in a 747 is different than in a 172. Where you are is a 3D reference from a VOR or an airport. I use cardinal headings in close and radials when further than 15 miles from the VOR. And don't forget to include in your report a three-dimensional location. I also include if I'm in VFR or IFR conditions in my position report. What becomes what weather? The FAA and Lockheed Martin both have nice card formats for filing Pireps. But if you don't have a card with you, and I usually don't, it's easy to file anyways. Just think about what matters most to us pilots. Ceilings and visibilities should be on all pilots' minds. Air stability or turbulence is certainly a close second. Air temperature is important, especially to IFR pilots in the winter months when icing is a real concern. I use my in-dash KLN 94 GPS receiver to calculate winds aloft and always give those to flight service as well. I report other weather phenomenon like icing or lightning as necessary. As technology strides forward, vendors like ForeFlight now have Pirep symbols that show directly on the map. Now, for the first time, we can visually see the Pirep weather right on our map while we're flying, and that's great. Except that we, as GA pilots, do a terrible job of filing Pireps. In 2010, I flew to an AOPA convention in Tampa, Florida. While flight planning the 777 nautical mile trip, there was not one single Pirep over the entire route. That experience from 6 years ago is similar to this one on Duats from just the other day. Just 2 Pireps over an 800 nautical mile route. That's poor. More than anything, I hate a long ride in turbulence. Wouldn't it be nice if there were 20 Pireps along that route and each listed negative turbulence? Or, in the alternative, if those 20 reports all listed moderate turbulence, I could just stay home and go another day rather than wishing en route I was on the ground at home. Let's all work together on your very next cross-country flight. Be sure to file a Pirep or 2 or 3. For Aviation Safety Videos, I'm Bob Reed. Have a safe flight.
Grumman 28665, this is Altoona Radio. Go ahead.
Good morning, sir. We're a Grumman Tiger in Alpha Alpha 5 Bravo, 6,000 feet over the St. Thomas VOR. I'd like to report we have a overcast layer below, tops estimated at 2,000. We have an overcast layer above, base of the overcast estimated at probably 7,000. Visibility's variable between 3 and 5. Like to report light turbulence. The outside air temperature is 6 degrees, and the winds were out of, I'm showing they were out of 217 degrees true at 36 knots. 665, over.
November 28665, I copy you're a Grumman Alpha Alpha 5 Bravo over the St. Thomas VOR at 6,000 feet. Reporting overcast clouds with tops at 2,000. A second overcast layer with base at 7,000. Flight visibility 3 to 5 miles. Outside air temperature plus 6 Celsius. Wind from 217 degrees at 36 and light turbulence. Is that accurate and complete?
Complete and correct, 665.
Additional pilot reports as you descend into the Pittsburgh area would be appreciated. And for additional en route weather, contact radio on 122.2, Grumman 665. Roger, thanks again for the pilot report, sir. Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, 665 out.
There we go. Okay, that was fun.
I think that'll be useful.
Yeah, okay, nav off.